Hello friends, today we will do chapter number 1, Beginnings of the novel David Copperfield, written by Charles Dickens. So let's start. I was born in Blunderstone, Suffolk. We lived in a nice house with a garden and many trees outside. My father had named our house the Rookery because a type of bird, the rook, had nests in the trees all around our property. It was after my father's death and just before my birth that his aunt, Betsy Trotwood, came to our home. Things were about to change at the Rookery, and my life was about to begin. Aunt Betsy marched into our house and gave everybody her opinions from the beginning. My nephew, David, was a good man, but like all men, he was a bit silly. My mother, usually shy, but on this occasion she told Aunt Betsy firmly that she did not like her to speak in an unkind way about my deceased father. Please, madam, I will not have you talk about my late husband in this manner. My husband, David Copperfield, was a good and honest man with heart of gold. If this baby is a son, I shall call him David Copperfield like him, and I hope that he will be exactly like his father. The baby will be a girl. I will be her godmother, and her name shall be Betsy, and she certainly will not make the mistakes in the life that I did. Of course, Aunt Betsy was very disappointed when I was born. Her attitude towards me was a bit harsh. This was because of the problem she had with her husband when she was married. He had treated her badly, and then they were eventually separated. Therefore, she seemed to feel that all men were wicked or silly, and that they made women's lives difficult. When she first came, she knew that my mother was a young widow expecting a baby, and with only one servant, Peggotty. Aunt Betsy had declared that she had come to the Rookery to help my mother look after me. Unfortunately, the fact that I was born a male was too much of a shock for Aunt Betsy. She couldn't bear it and left the house in a huff immediately after my birth, and so we were left all alone, just the three of us. Luckily, dear Peggotty was much more than a servant. She was a good friend to my mother and me as well. Although it did not seem at all like a good beginning for me, we made the most of our life together and were happy. In the evenings or on cold wet days, my young and beautiful mother would sit with Peggotty in the parlour. They would chat by the fire and would often sing or read to me. Then they would rock me in their arms. When I fell asleep, they would take me to my bed and kiss me warmly on my forehead. On Sundays, we would walk to the nearby church and visit my father's grave. Knowing that he was close by made he feel me safe. even though I was very young at that time. I have many tender memories of my early life. Those sweet moments will remain in my heart forever. I think back and sometimes laugh to myself when I remember particular moments from that peaceful and pleasant time. I used to think that Peggotty's plump, red cheeks looked so much like apples that every time she went outdoors, I would tell her to take care. I was sure the birds would think that her cheeks were juicy apples and peck at them. How things changed when Mr. Murdstone entered our lives. I was about 5 years old the first time we met. He looked down at me and said, "Give me your hand, boy." A man must have a firm handshake if he wants to get anywhere in the world. He began walking my mother home from the church. Then he would visit her at home from the church. Then he would visit her at home and stay a little longer each time. He was a handsome man, tall and slim, with dark hair and a beard. Mother would dress up and curl her hair before Mr. Murdstone came to see her. She would giggle when he was at the house, and sometimes her face would become red. I do admit I was jealous, but this wasn't the reason why I didn't like him. I didn't trust him because of the look he had in his eyes. They were small and dark and didn't seem kind at all. Later I was proved to be correct. Mr. Murdstone wanted to be alone with mother, so Peggotty was told to take me away for a few weeks to visit her brother in Yarmouth. What a treat it will be, Master Davy. There's the sea, the boats and the fishermen, and the young ones to play with. I was excited because I was going somewhere new, but I would miss mother very much. Thank you, friends. Bye bye.